Hello, good evening and welcome to Prime Sports Live here on the Joint News channel with me, Owuraku Ampofo. The Black Maidens of Ghana have taken a giant step towards qualification to this year's FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup after beating Morocco in the first leg of the final qualifier at the Accra Sports Stadium on Friday afternoon. Lawrence Beidou was there and put together this report for Joy Sports.
Stella Nyameche opened the scoring with a fine strike outside the penalty box in the first half of the game. Before captain of the day, Messi Amon sent in a beautiful, well-taken free kick from outside the box as well. The Black Maidens secured a home advantage heading into the second leg, which takes place in Morocco. Speaking after the game, head coach of the Black Maidens, Baba Nuhu, who was confident ahead of the fixture, said although his side has a 2-0 lead in Ghana, they will go to Morocco to finish the job.
I've been observing them and they are here with a mission. And I only wanted to make sure that they don't achieve their mission. Their mission was to come and defend and then try to get a goal. But we also try our best to make sure that at least we get 1 or 2 past them, and they also try not to concede, and that's exactly what we did.
The second leg of this encounter takes place in Morocco in 2 weeks' time, which is June 4th. The Black Maidens will be looking to make it to their record 7th World Cup appearance, having participated in all 6 previous appearances. Reporting for Joy News, Beidou Lawrence.
Well, we'll keep you up to date when the second leg does come around. But the Black Maidens definitely with a very good advantage heading to Rabat, Morocco. Let's do some more here, where Asante Kotoko has urged the Ghana Football Association to postpone the rest of the games after Ash Gold was involved in a match-fixing scandal. The Obuasi-based club, alongside Division 1 outfit Inter Allies, have been demoted to the 2nd division of Ghana football. Now, Kotoko's Ghana Premier League against Ashanti Gold did not come off on Thursday. Israel FM's Bismarck Owusu-Bempah has been speaking to Nathaniel Watto.
If you know the Adansi people from that part of the Ashanti region, they are very, very particular about as good as their club. It's one heritage that they hold on to very, very well. If you look at the embarrassing way, the nature of the FA verdict was on as good, you knew that the people of Obuasi and its environs would be very, very devastated and furious about the happenings that is going on. So I wasn't surprised myself to pick the intelligence from the Ghana police that it would be suicidal for any game to be played in Obuasi, especially when there are information that Dr. Kogu Frimpong and his son, Emmanuel Frimpong, will be in attendance as president and CEO, because the punishment will take effect from next season. I don't think those 2 people will be welcome in Obuasi in any way, and the violence that could follow with their presence at the stadium would have been devastating. So I agree with the national security, per their intel. Look, when we surface what is going on, there's no way we can encourage this game to come up. So yes, I'm very, very particular about the Adansi people and the way they hold us gold dear to their hearts, and it was merely impossible for a game against Asante Kotoko to be approved for it to be played.
All right. As the situation stands, it is a fixture in the Ghana Premier League, and the game must be played. So what will be the options going forward?
Exactly. So we will wait on the national security. I think the FA looking at the rest of the matches that are supposed to be played in the league, only 6 games. And if you look at the Kotoko letter, they are trying to create an impression of sporting integrity and say, look, there are people who are facing relegation and there are those who want to win the trophy. And Ashanti got 6 games to play with any of these sides who may be affected when it comes to the final dynamics of the league law. So for me, what I'm expecting the FA to do is to engage fully the Ghana police and the intelligence people, get what the real situation is. If it's going to be a long-lasting situation, then the best the executive committee can do is to find us a neutral venue for us good matches till the end of the season, because we can't keep waiting on national security intelligence. And if it will take forever, we have to wait for us good home games to be taken forever for us to play. So I think the FA, per the ESCO, must meet the national security apparatus, get to know what really is the situation on the ground, and take decisions according to it. And for us in the sporting fraternity, what must be done is that these outgoed games must be played as soon as possible for the sporting integrity and the brand Ghana football. In recent games, Koroko has failed to win some matches, and that has raised some few tensions within the circles.
Now, following the demotion of Premier League side Ashanti Gold and Division 1 outfit into allies after match-fixing investigation, former CEO of Asante Kotoko, Herbert Mensah, has emphasized the need for the GFA to clean the tainted image of the Ghana Premier League.
We need a domestic game to go back to the points where stadiums are full and the interest was even bigger than for the EPL. It happened once upon a time. We need to get back there again. And I think as we clean up the image, and we show that our governing bodies and the powers that be are serious about cleaning up our image, then it'll take us a long way back to being able to go back to capital, to private business, to money, and to the supporters who are the most important groups of people, and show them that we're serious. What you're watching is real. It's not staged. No peculiar penalties or own goals. No 5-0, 7-0, 6-0. No things that simply defy understanding in many ways. There can be bad games. I get that. But let us move quickly and fast away from this point. That global world of which I'm in, which once saw in the gentleman's game of cricket, superstars being banned because of gambling rings in Asia. They say they are Turkish rings, the Asian rings, who are all betting and gambling off the Ghanaian soccer scene. Let's kick it out. Let's get rid of it. Let this be the first stage. And FA, the executives, the members, the people who vote, let's give these committees greater power so that we can criminalize those who are involved in this. We can get quicker action taken at the same time, and hopefully with other things being done, the image of the game can improve.
To boxing, where Joshua Boakye and Craig Richards are fighting on an eliminator bout for the WBA lightweight title of the world, which is currently held by Dmitry Bivol of Russia. Bivol has held the WBA title for over 4 years and most recently defended it against Saul Canelo Alvarez earlier this month. Boakye, who hails from the Volta region of Ghana, is a real 2016 bronze medalist and is also one of the golden boys of Eddie Hearn's Matchroom promotion. Here is a recap of their pre-bout face-off.
Owuraku, you know, I was just having a good laugh because of the face-off. And on a very light note, how long can you stare somebody in the face like that?
Looking all serious.
I know you're not a shy guy. I know you're not a shy guy, but hey. All right. So look, Owuraku, you saw the look on his face, and you saw the lack of emotion. That goes to signify a certain level of seriousness and a certain level of business-like approach and regimen towards getting ready for these fights. I was looking forward to seeing Boakye fight in December, but unfortunately he had a hand injury, and because of that he couldn't fight. And so he's had to take some time off, recuperate, and he's gotten himself back in the gym, and it's just been amazing. Boakye is a very disciplined boxer. Sometimes it hurts me so bad that he wasn't able to make it into the Ghana team or the Black Bombers team for the 2012 Olympics. At the time, he also admits that he was very young. But then eventually he went in and fought for Great Britain, for the 2016 Olympics. Owuraku, the interesting thing here is that, when he starts making the achievements and he's traveling on such a positive path, the British will claim him so well. You do remember the little confusion between Britain and Ghana. I mean, in the British media, not necessarily confusion, but claiming Isaac Dogbe as a boxer. Yeah. So Joshua Boakye is ready. He sounds ready. I had a chat with him 2 days ago. He's still training in fight week, and that's interesting. The unwritten rule in boxing just goes to tell you that when you're getting ready for a fight, in the final 7 days, you rest the body and take it easy. But he has a different format. He has a different approach to all of this, and it's just amazing to note. So I'm glad, I'm happy that we have a Ghanaian boxer who is within the top space of a big promotional house like Matchroom Promotions, headed by Eddie Hearn. It couldn't have gotten any better. I mean, if you have some of the biggest names within this space, then you know that we're in good company. So I'm glad about this level of preparation, and I know that in as much as this is going to be one of his toughest fights, he sure is still going to scale through. Earlier this evening, when I was doing analysis on radio, on the locker room, I said, and I was very clear that in Tyson Fury's last bout, I said I was reluctantly leaning towards Tyson Fury. In this particular one, I'm ready to eat humble pie, Owuraku, and I'm ready to eat humble pie if it goes wrong in the unlikely instance of things. But I believe that Boakye is going to come through. He's got a good physique, and I'm going to take the words of his promoter, Eddie Hearn, who was standing in the middle when they were having that face-off. Yeah. In an interview last year, he said, look, this guy has got the chin, he's got the heart, and he's got the willingness, he's got the spirit to get there and get up there and do big things. So what is happening now is a calculated journey towards a world title fight. And look, in this world where, unfortunately, shortcuts have become the way to go among the youth, I'm glad that Joshua Boakye is telling a different story, because he's done it the hard way, he's done it the tough way, he's gone through the mill, and on the day when he becomes the WBA champion, nobody will question his credentials and his journey, because it's been a calculated journey, and he's fought worthy opponents who are worth their salt, opponents who give you a good test, and all of that. Look, Rijkaard Bolotniks, who was his last opponent, did not come cheap. We all do know that compared to the two, between the two boxers, Joshua Boakye is the one who is the better knockout specialist, because out of 15 wins, 13 of them have come by way of knockout. So he's a knockout specialist when you compare the two boxers, because out of Craig Richards' 17 wins, he's had only 10 as knockout wins. So, he's a calculated fighter, and I like that about him. He knows that it's a painstaking effort. But the only thing he has to be very clear about and very wary about is that time is flying. He's in his late 20s, and the youthfulness also counts. I would want him to become a world champion so that he enjoys the space. He gets to defend the title a couple of times. Makes some very good coins, Owuraku, because look, the bucks are very important at a certain point in your life. Yeah. So I would want him to do all of that and enjoy the space. And from a Ghanaian perspective as well, hey, it's been a while. We want to see somebody within that big space, attract those big crowds, headline the bouts that will have, the whole of Wembley, 90 to 100,000 fans come and scream your name. We'll be glad to do that. And I'm saying this one purely from a sentimental point of view. I know that I'm doing very technical and very unbiased analysis, but on the Ghanaian score, I really would want to see Joshua Boakye, fight. The first time I met him, he was a teenager. Isaac Dogbe was also a teenager, and they were introduced to me by Ambassador Ray Kwaku, who was then the president of the Ghana Amateur Boxing Authority. So it's a great time. I'm looking forward to a win for Joshua Boakye.
Well, Nathaniel, just before we take leave of you, you did mention that you do believe that the bout against Craig Richards could possibly be Boakye's toughest test yet. What do you think he has to do to come out victorious in the bout?
Okay, there are cardinal principles in boxing. Protect yourself at all time is the written and unwritten rule. Now, protecting yourself at all time is something that the legendary Floyd Mayweather Jr. has done to a massive fault, for which the whole world has to salute him. Look, Owuraku, go back to his fights. Take a look at his defense. And some of the boxing analysts, some of my colleagues in the US will tell you that one of the reasons why Floyd Mayweather looks so good after retirement is because he never really got hit. And in boxing, you have to operate in the ring such that you do not get hit. And so tomorrow, as Joshua Boakye goes into this final eliminator in this very long journey that he's traveled, he has to be very, very upward, very, very alert, and very focused. 1 second of dropping focus can result in a very big knockout. 1 second of walking into a dirty punch and miscalculation can result in a very, very unfortunate situation. And so that is where I need Boakye to be, 100% with his guard. I mean, you look at this video and you realize that his guard is always up, which is very good. Protecting his face, protecting his ribs partly, and that is the way to go. You protect yourself and you attack. So Boakye needs to get in that space, get into that skin and fight, and take the fight to Richards. Make sure that he builds up on the points and make sure that he doesn't lose out if eventually it has to be decided on points. So Richards, look, let's face it. Richards could have been the current champion of the WBA had it not been for the fact that he lost to Dimitri Bivol, who beat Saul Canelo Alvarez. And we all know who Saul Canelo Alvarez is. The only blot in his career until Dimitri Bivol defeated him was Floyd Mayweather Jr. And so he's no mean boxer to defeat. And so to have gone the full distance, to have gone all the way and gotten towards the 11th round with, with a boxer like that is a big deal. So for me, it is very important. Keep the guard up. Make sure you're building up on the points. And of course, if the opening comes for a knockout, hit it. Because in this bout, you, Boakye, are the knockout specialist.
And one more thing, Nathaniel, before we go. Looking ahead, you said it's been a long journey for Boakye. Now he's at the final title eliminator. And if he is supposed to, or he is going to cross this Richard line, there is the final step of having to face Dimitri Bivol, who you say would pose a very huge threat. If you had to look beyond this fight, and let's assume that Boakye goes past this, do you think that he has what it takes to take the title from Bivol?
If Boakye goes beyond this fight, it will mean that he has gone 16 bouts undefeated. Now, let me just quickly refer you to a Cuban boxer, Guillermo Rigondeaux. He is in a lower weight division. He fought and defeated Ghana's Joseph Agbek. By this stage in his career, he had unified the division. He had assumed so much control in the bantamweight division, that it wasn't funny. Now, in the same way, Joshua Boakye can take advantage of the situation and become the new Buzz and the new Wizkid. Dimitri Bivol is tough, especially because of what he has shown us from the encounter with Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is a feared name in the light heavyweight division.
Yeah.
So clearly, Joshua Boakye would be able to step up to the plate and match him pound for pound and punch for punch once he's able to get that opportunity. Because by that time, he would have defeated this opponent, Craig Richards.
All right. Thank you very much, Nathaniel, for joining us to preview what should be an interesting bout between Craig Richards and Joshua Boache this weekend. But before we go, Chelsea's Antonio Rudiger says the difficult contract negotiations and the lack of communication are the reasons behind his departure from the club. The defender, whose deal with the Blues expires this summer, was offered a contract worth more than £200,000 to stay at Chelsea. However, Real Madrid have agreed the deal to sign the German international.
It has been 5 years, not 5 months. A long time.
Rudiger going for glory again! Oh, God, he's finally done it!
Chelsea gave me the platform to express myself, to show who I am.
First Rudiger! And it's Tony Rudiger who runs to the Chelsea fans in that far corner.
I decided to take on a new journey. A lot of people are not happy about it. I can fully understand. I thank all Chelsea supporters around the world, like all the teammates I had, all the coaches I had. Really, really thank you very much. You know, doesn't matter, difficult times, good times. I thank everyone because everyone was part of that journey. You guys always say, Blues forever. I hope it stays like that. Thank you very much.
Every beginning has an end. Antonio Rudiger's time at Chelsea would be coming to an end at the end of this season. My name is Owuraku Ampofo, and that's how I'll be wrapping up here on Prime Sports on the Joy News channel. You can always get some more sports stories on my Joy Online/sports, or if you're interested in what's happening up to date in the world of sports, especially in such a weekend where there will be so much going on with the European leagues across, the NBA, and then French Open starting as well. You can follow us on social media at JoySportsGH to get the latest from all of these sports. We'll be back again on Monday to bring you a wrap of the big events that took place this weekend. Do have a fantastic weekend.